Welcome to Courageous Conversations with Lionheart Coaching Co., where we talk about the hard parts of our journey and the courage it can sometimes take to find our way back to ourselves. I'm your host, Mandy Woodard, and on this episode, my friend Justin Appleton with Skyline Solar out of Front Royal, Virginia, joins me to talk about life and business and a little bit of parenthood. We had some silly moments and some serious ones too, but I really think you're going to enjoy hearing what he has to say. All right, guys, let's get into it. Hi, Justin.
What's up?
Are you ready to start this?
Let's go. Let's get into it.
Okay, so nobody knows who you are listening to this. You have to tell us.
I am not famous, but I do feel famous with this fancy podcast setup we got going on right here. It's pretty nice.
I think so.
You've been wanting to do that for a long time, huh?
Yeah, like 5 years.
And I made your top 5 guest list, so that's...
Let me tell you something. Look at that.
Yeah, so I'm number... Am I number 1?
Well, Richard.
Yeah, but he doesn't count. You're married to him. He has to do that.
He gets to roll out with the 1 through 3 episodes.
All right, cool, nice.
So you're next.
You cut me out on the first one a couple years ago, and I still didn't let you live that down. So
I did.
Yeah,
I did.
I was a little upset, but
you didn't get to come cook in the kitchen.
Nope.
For the Amanda Hoyle show.
No, I did not. It's probably a good thing because I'm not a good cook. Really good at eating though. I can eat.
Well, we didn't really make anything that good.
That's fine. It still would have been fun.
Okay, but why should I have you on the show?
You probably have me on the show today because, I'm not going to sugarcoat it. Mm-hmm. I'm going to be authentic.
Yes.
And like most things I do in life, we'll probably have fun and we'll laugh.
Yeah.
And live, laugh, love is everywhere. But not a lot of people realize that the most important thing is to laugh. If you laugh, you're happy, and that's the key.
You are exactly right. That is why I wanted you to be first, because I knew it would set the tone, and I knew that it would. I know, no pressure.
I'm lead off.
Yeah.
I feel like Derek Jeter.
Well, my husband was lead off technically.
All right, yeah, but again.
Exactly. I get it.
I'm just gonna say that Richie was probably lead off because you had to test all this fancy equipment out.
I gotta give him more than that.
Did Richie get headphones?
No.
I'm a little upset I don't have my own headphones. I feel like I would feel really cool with headphones. But it's awesome. No, it looks good in here. I like the rearranging of the home office. It's nice. We're using free, clean energy right now. Life is good.
Oh, yeah, because we've got... Look at you, plugging already.
Shameless.
Okay, go ahead.
Nope, I'm good.
Okay, so you have a solar company.
Yes, correct.
But that's not all of who you are. You are a dad. You got 2 kiddos.
2 amazing kids.
They're getting old.
Yep.
You have a
You've
beautiful
kind of
wife.
seen them grow. You've seen them grow since you used to do our pictures.
Mm-hmm. That was 10 years ago, this month.
Our first session?
Mm-hmm. 2012.
Really? Wow. Yeah, time flies when you have kids.
Mm-hmm.
You have no concept of time really until you have kids, and then you're gonna sit back and realize what did I do with my time?
I know.
Before I had kids. And
you want it to go fast sometimes.
Yeah. Some of my friends that don't have kids are like, "Oh, we're so busy." I'm like, dude, you don't even know. You don't even have you're not running around at practices and tryouts and camps and back and forth to school and picking this up, and
and running a business at the same time.
Yeah.
I actually was going to talk to you about this. How do you juggle all of that and running this huge business?
My wife, basically, she's really the boss. I get off on some tangents sometimes. It's hard for me to sit down and run the business, but she does a really good job of keeping me corralled, if you will. She sometimes has to ask me to do the same thing several times a day. And it's not just because I don't feel like doing it. Sometimes it is I don't feel like doing it. But a lot of times it's just my mind. I'm not ready to tackle that task yet. I have to be mentally prepared to sit down at a desk and go through some paperwork or go through a set of drawings or something like that. So she'll ask me multiple times, and then I usually know, like, I better do this. She means business. So I can't do all that without her for sure.
Yeah.
And then I just got, I got some good people in the right places.
I'll tell you something. It's really funny because you're sitting here talking this, and I told you, like, let's talk a little bit about human design. But so it's the opposite in my house. Richie runs the show, and he has to tell me multiple times to do stuff. But you and I are both projectors. We don't have the energy to do all the things. But he's a generator. She's a generator. They keep us in line.
That is 100% accurate. That's probably really what intrigued me into the human design stuff that you do. Is you literally, I mean, obviously we're friends, like, you know us, but you don't know us, like the ins and outs of our day-to-day life. But like when you started going into that, we were doing Blake's senior video. Yeah. And I'm like, holy crap, like you just nailed me spot on. I felt like for the first time in forever, like, holy shit, somebody might understand what goes through my head on a day-to-day basis. Yeah. It's crazy. I can't, like, it's really hard for me to understand what people are like, God, I like know what goes through your head sometimes. I'm like, dude, so would I. Like, for real. It's
Well, you have an open head? I don't remember your design.
I don't know.
I think you have an open head. You overthink things? Did I tell you that?
Yeah, I overthink things. Yeah, I definitely overthink things. I overthought the answer to that question right there.
Why did I? I don't remember why we started talking about that. Probably because I'm just so passionate about it. I talk about it to everybody, annoyingly at times. But why did I bring that up?
I don't know. It was really weird because, like, I'd had like a crappy couple days. So I was like I was in a funk, and I really didn't want to be. I really didn't even want you to come over to my house that day.
I know, you tried to cancel me.
Yeah, but then I was like, all right, no. So then you started talking about that, and I'm like, all right, like, that's a sign. If I didn't know you, like, when you went into that stuff, when you would have left and the door shut and you couldn't hear me, I'd have been like, I am never letting this lady in my house again. This lady is a cuckoo bird. But since I knew you, like, I knew you on a personal level, I was like, all right, like, maybe some of the stuff that she's talking about. A huge spider right there on your wall.
Oh my!
That's a big one.
God, you
hold on, folks.
Get your oh my God with your bare hand.
Yeah, it's just a spider.
Did you even kill it?
Oh yeah, he's dead.
Right. Oh, I'm done.
We're back.
That's the show. I'm burning the house.
That was excitement, right?
Burn the house down.
That was a big one for people who can't see.
Oh my God!
Did the producers and everyone? Did y'all see that too?
Am I gonna?
Our Mario, our sound guy and tech guy over there, he saw it. He left the room.
Dude, I thought I was going to edit that out, and now I can't. It stays.
That was a big spider. That's what you give me. We were talking about something so serious, and then
that's fine though.
Everything goes out the window, and it's like me versus the spider. That's my day. Right there.
I'm very good at jumping back in, so I'm going to jump back in because I'm going to say two things to what you just said. One, it's funny that you say that you would think that I was a cuckoo bird because I have a channel in my design chart that is called From Genius to Freak. And what happens is somebody either thinks, wow, that's really awesome, or they think, this is crazy. So you kind of fell in the middle there.
Yeah. I mean, that's spot on.
The other thing that I want to say is, first of all, it made me so happy, and this is why. Because projectors need recognition. They need to be recognized. They need to be seen. And when you listened and then, wow, that's really awesome. You know that was recognition for me. So for me, it was like, somebody cares. But then also most guys don't, not to stereotype or generalize, but most guys are like, that astrology woo-woo crap, and it's part it's not all astrology. It's like quantum physics and stuff, but it's also astrology and your chakras and all this stuff. And most guys, you say chakras, you're like,
that sounds like a drink.
Yeah, it's not. It's your essence. It's your aura.
I've always kind of been an open-minded person, so for me it was like, when I saw you were doing life coaching and stuff, I'm like, oh, cool, Mandy's like a personal assistant. Like, that's awesome. She helps people.
Wait a second. Not a personal assistant.
I'm just saying that's what I thought.
I love that you thought that because I'm like you and I need a personal assistant.
I was like, oh, cool. She's like, Manny's the person that calls you and goes, hey, remember you have a, you have a conference call at 2:00.
Yeah, that's not degrading at all.
No, I'm just, listen, it's an open podcast.
It is. It's fine.
I'm just
Go
telling
ahead.
you what I thought.
I know. Yeah, that's
And then
fine.
when you started telling me, no, it's so much more than that, I was like, all right, now I'm interested.
Yeah.
If you can pique my interest on something, I'm usually pretty, I got dive into it. Just how my mind works.
Can I tell a story about what happened like 24 hours later?
Yeah, go.
So I had a dream that night that I was giving you Reiki in the office. And I saw exactly where you were holding on to heavy energy. And when I left there, we have to be very clear. I share with you about human design. I do that all the time with people. We didn't say did I say come see me in the office for a coaching appointment or something? But we didn't even talk about energy work.
Nothing.
Yeah,
No,
we didn't even talk about it.
It was totally like out of left field.
So then that night, though, I had that dream. And then the next day at I know what time it was because it was 5 minutes before I was supposed to get on with my assistant. I almost didn't answer the phone because I was trying to take notes for what I needed to tell her. And here my phone rings. It says Justin Appleton. I was like, interesting. And then I immediately thought about the dream. And then you were like, well, you can say what you said.
I remember I called you and I was like, all right, yo, like, book me a session. Like, let's see what it's about. Like, I need to figure it out. Like I said before, I was kind of always open-minded to things. Self-care is something that doesn't get really preached when you own a business and you're never off when you own a business.
Or a man. Men don't get that talk.
Yeah, no, they don't because it's, you get, I guess, ridiculed or.
Right, like
hey,
suck it up.
Like
Richie and I talked a lot about that.
Just, you feel like you're being like soft.
Yeah.
Essentially, but. One thing for me was, you're never off. My phone always rings. There's always emails. There's always texts. There's always something that I can be doing in the business. And sometimes that gets overwhelming. So like for me to find an outlet, I would go jump on my motorcycle and go for a ride.
Which is good.
Yeah. because you can't hear the phone ring. Like you're just out riding. That's very peaceful to me. But I sold my motorcycle, so like I was like almost like looking for something else. I got to do something here. Like I'm kind of lost.
Well, I kind of laughed at that because I'm like, so you sold your motorcycle and you come see me get some energy work instead.
Well,
no, that's a great trade-off. I think that sounds great.
I believe in energy work. Like I had heard about it. I actually had a substitute teacher in middle school who his name was Mr. Thielen, and he was one of the coolest teachers ever. And he would read your auras. So like every time I saw him, I'd be like, hey, come here. What do you see? How do I look today? And he would tell you the colors that he sees around you, and those colors would match your mood and things like that. And he was spot on. This guy literally, I never forget, in like 7th or 8th grade, I asked, like, he was looking at my aura and he was like, yeah, you're gonna do something with like wiring or something like that. And I was like, oh, that's cool. Sure enough, like, he was spot on. Could be a coincidence, I don't know. Because
you did start an electrical company.
Yep, I started doing electrical work in high school, and it just kind of was like a summer job.
Oh, that's how that happened.
Yeah, that's how that started.
Because that's what I wanted to talk to you about, is how did you get into this, if you want to share.
Yeah, no, honestly, how I got into doing electrical work is pretty funny, really. So when I was in high school, Mr. Thompson was the electricity teacher. Mm-hmm. And like I'd always heard, he was a really cool guy, easy to get along with. So I needed an elective in 10th grade, and I was like, I don't know. Electricity sounds cool. I'll just I'll pick that class.
Yeah.
I didn't want to do like foreign language. I didn't want to do computers. Really didn't want to do auto mechanics because I didn't want to get my clothes dirty during the day.
Oh my God.
So I was like, I didn't want to do small engine because I did that, So I was like, I don't know, give me like electricity. That sounds cool. And Mr. Thompson was cool. So I was like, all right, let me just run with this.
Yeah.
And I really enjoyed it. I was in 10th grade. I took it for the first time in 10th grade. I did really well. It was one of the only classes I really did good in.
Yeah.
And I enjoyed. So I got moved up. I actually skipped the second year of electricity. I excelled. So it was like AP classes for some people. Like,
wow.
I went from electricity 1 to 3. That's how good I was.
Okay.
And it just really was a summer job that turned into a career. My dad owned a drywall construction company. I worked with him one summer and absolutely hated it. Within the first week, I was like, I do not want to be a drywall guy.
That's messy.
Yeah. I just didn't like it. Like,
yeah.
I was like, I cannot see myself. And it was a great situation. Like, my dad had a very successful large company. Like, I could have easily been, the son that comes in, learns the business, takes it over, and, runs with this multi-million-dollar drywall business. I mean, it was basically set up. It was on a tee for me to swing away at. I don't know. I didn't like it.
Well, you know what I love about your story, though, is we've talked about how much you hated high school. Did you hate it, or you just didn't want to go?
Nah, I liked high school. I hated the work that we had to do.
Right.
Yeah, I hated the school part of it.
That's what I mean.
Yeah.
The social aspect was great.
Yeah, I like that. I went to school. I didn't skip a whole lot.
I mean, I set it up to be there as little as possible.
Yeah.
And what's funny is people look at that and they think, what are you even going to do? You're just going to grow up and be lazy.
Yep.
So what were your grades like?
Oh, my grades, I made it by like the skin of my teeth.
Same.
Like literally down to the 12th hour. Is he going to graduate or not? I barely made it. I see a lot of the teachers now because obviously my kids are so involved in the sports, and my wife's very involved in the athletics program and things like that. And they're all like, yeah, we thought for sure you were going to be the one to crash and burn.
Oh,
Never
God.
thought you would, own a business.
Well, I think that's reassuring for parents that listen, because I don't know, you get so worried when you're in the moment. Oh my gosh, they're not really, I honestly don't care about grades. You got to pass. You're not going to fail. But I know how intelligent actually my oldest is, just because he's the high schooler. I'll just talk about him. I know he's smart, but I know he doesn't want to do that work. I didn't want to do that work, but it's just a means to an end is what we always tell him.
We kind of had that. We had that battle. I don't want to say battle, but I had a battle internally in my head with Blake. His whole goal from the time he was young was to play college football, and we provided him with every opportunity that he could to succeed, knowing that was his goal. And he had 2 back-to-back unfortunate injuries that basically ended his football career. And he was very adamant of like, if I'm not playing college football, like, I'm not going to college. And as a parent, you want your kid to go to college. You want your kid to do better than you, and you want that for them. But at the same time, in my head, I'm like struggling because, like, today's society, if you don't go to college, you're not doing something right. And for me, I was struggling in my head. Okay, you don't want to go to college, dude? Like, that's cool. You can still do great things and make a great living. Like,
for sure. There's
still a lot of other things you can do. I have friends that went to college for 4 years, got their degrees, and, they're electricians too. So I'm not knocking college. I'm not saying college is bad, but there's just some people that
there's more than one option
is not for.
Yeah.
And he was just adamant. So, his parents, like, it was tough because we thought he was going to go to college. He had some good opportunities, and he was very smart. He got straight A's. So life can change, and you can go different paths. Not everyone's path is going to be the same, and that's
which is
key.
I think it's really good that he had to go through all that. And now I honestly feel like this is my personal opinion, but I hope that my kids don't go right into college. I want them to figure out what they want to do first. So often they go to college and then 2 years in, it's like, I don't want to do this anymore. I've been on this path for this specific major, for this specific job, and I don't even want to do that now. Your brain's not even fully developed until you're 24, 25 years old. So making these huge decisions and...
Like, out of high school, I didn't go right into my electrical trade. So, like, I did kind of, I don't want to say screw off, but, like, I did do some different jobs for a year. Probably a year and a half.
So how old were you when you started your company?
That was 2007, so I was 20, I don't know, 24, 25, something like that, 26. I don't know, I
And were
can't
you
add.
like at all? I can't either, so I don't. That's fine. We'll go with that. Were you at all like, who am I to do this? Or did you just immediately feel like, I got this, this is fine?
Yeah, like I've always been the type of person that has the mentality like, I just figure stuff out.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's hard to explain. Like I just figure stuff out. Like I look at my dad, like my dad's a huge inspiration to me. Like my dad, it was different times back then, but he dropped out of school in 8th grade and went to work to help, provide for, my grandmother and the family, and they had a big family. So, and to look at what he's done, it's like, okay, this dude did it on an 8th grade education. I got 4 years up on him. Like I should be good,
Yeah.
But I feel like I'm wired different than other people. Like I don't have to have a very well laid out plan. I'm like,
yeah.
Cool, like I'll figure it out. Like
I'm gonna be honest with you, you have a defined heart in your human design chart. And that's what that is. Because you have that willpower and that self-confidence. Not that you don't struggle with confidence. I don't know, maybe you do. But I do sometimes, and I have a defined heart, but I'm the same way. I'll figure this out. When I started shooting weddings at 17 years old, you better believe I walked in there and it was like I'd been a photographer for 10 years.
Yeah. There's the saying, fake it till you make it. And I, like, there's some parts of that I'm like, yeah, hell yeah. Like, go for it. Fake it till you make it. And then there's people who are like, oh no, you don't do that. I get both arguments. But I knew when I did start doing electrical work as a real job full time in probably 2001, I knew eventually like my end goal was going to be to have my own company.
Yeah.
I just knew I was working to that point.
Yeah. Was it a bumpy road when you started?
Started my
Your
company?
business, yeah.
Yeah. It was really bumpy. I got laid off. I had an office position in an electrical contractor company, and I got laid off like a week before Thanksgiving.
Oh my God.
In 2007. Right after Kylie was born, and
wow.
Angela quit a $125,000 a year job. So, yeah, it was definitely bumpy.
Yeah.
She had Kylie was born in April, and this was in November. So she got to the end of her maternity leave and was like, I'm not going back. And I was like, all right, cool. We'll figure it out. Like, that was my mentality. Like, all right, cool. Like, we'll make some adjustments. We'll figure it out. Like, cool. Stay home with the kids. Totally fine with it. We'll figure it out. And we did.
You always do, though. The same thing happened to us when I was pregnant with Liam. My husband, because he used to be a contractor, and his contract didn't get renewed with the company he was with. Not his specifically. It was that whole contract. And so for about 2 or 3 weeks, I'm 8 months pregnant. I was shooting weddings left and right, but I can't do that when I'm about to give birth.
Right.
And we're like, what are we about to do? But it all works out. It always does.
Yeah. It was, it was definitely an adjustment. Like, I remember like my first week without like a real job. So I had a friend of mine, a good friend, Brad, took a week vacation to come help me work. I had a job to do. And he took a week off, and I made like $3,000 that first week.
Wow.
And I was like, man, this is cool. All right, this is November, so I'm like, all right, cool. Like I can pay my bills next month. Like I'll be good. Like I don't have to get a job till January. And then, then like I guess midway through December, I ended up getting like the biggest side job that I'd ever done, which was like, I don't know, I made like $10,000, $11,000, which was huge. I worked there for, 2-3 weeks. I mean, we worked our tails off. But
that's pretty significant.
We did. It was a big job. I did very well on it. And I remember sitting down and I'm like, shit, like I don't have to get a job till like, October.
You had that mindset of...
Yes, this is in December. I'm like, like I'm good. So my stress like went away completely. Like I wasn't, not that I was really stressed, but
it took
we were
the weight off.
24, 25 years old. Like,
yeah.
Angela was making really good money. She was the breadwinner. I mean, she was knocking it down. Like life was great. I mean, we had just bought a house. She bought a brand new car. Like everything was golden. And then she was like, I don't want to go
Right.
back. And I was like, cool, no problem. Like, we'll figure it out.
And then
So here I am
minus
in
2
December.
incomes.
Yeah, here I am in December, and I'm like, this is great. Like, I can pay my bills. I don't have to get a job until October. Like, I'm good.
Did you though, or did you
No.
say, "Let me start a business"?
No, it just continued from there. It just
So you didn't
spilled.
really not work for.
No. I was doing I was doing odds and ends electrical stuff for people, some contractors. I had a guy say something to me one time back when I first got into the electrical union. This older guy, he said something to me that really stuck, and it really changed the course of my entire life from one simple sentence. And it was a very simple statement from a guy who was in his 60s.
Okay.
We're in an electrical room, like it's just me and him. We're getting ready to get started for the day. And he says to me, Justin, he says, listen, man, you're going to work for a lot of people that are going to teach you a lot of different things. He said, but listen to me when I tell you this. Never sell the customer on the company that you're working for. You're going to leave, you're going to switch companies, everything like that. Make the customer feel sold and comfortable with you as a person. That customer doesn't care what company you work for.
Yes.
If they're comfortable with you.
That is very true.
And I thought about that, and I'm like, yeah, like that makes a lot of sense. Because in the union, there's guys that bounce around from contractor to contractor, and they take customers with them and stuff. So that really stuck with me. And through the years, I always sold myself. Like,
yeah, you have.
Yeah. I always brought value to myself and what I could do. And it really didn't matter who I worked for. So when I did make that jump, or I don't want to say make that jump, when I was forced to make that jump, it was very easy to go to people and say, "Hey, listen, I'm doing my own thing."
Because they are comfortable with you,
right? And it was cool. I was in a great spot.
That is great advice.
It was good timing. I mean, it was 2007. The housing market was crashing. Like, I started at the worst time ever, and none of that ever crossed. Like, nobody in 2007 was like, "Hey, the stock market's crashed, the housing market's crashed. Like, this is I'm going to quit my job and start a business." I just figured it out.
I've had this conversation before with other business owners, and it's when you start in the winter, that's essentially the winter when there's a recession or everything's crashing. You started in the winter and you still built a business. That's pretty awesome.
I always, at the end of the day, I was like, all right, like I'll figure it out.
Yeah.
No matter what.
Well, when your back's against the wall, that's when you start swinging.
Yeah. I mean, I have a saying that, like, failure is not an option. You're going to make mistakes and you're going to fail at certain tasks. But, like, at the end of the day, like, I believed in myself. I knew that with the way my mindset was, like, I wasn't going to fail. Yes, there was going to be roadblocks. There was going to be bumps. There was going to be things I had to overcome. But at the end of the day, I was like, I just knew everything. I would figure stuff out. So, and that's what we did. Like, I went like almost a whole year, flying by the seat of my pants, which I still do sometimes day to day. But after like almost a year in, Angela was like, if you're going to do this, like, we need to do this the right way. You need to be like a legit contractor with insurance and, a real company. Like, you can't just keep doing stuff on the side.
Right.
So I was like, all right, cool. And
there you have it.
Yeah, there you have it. It wasn't easy, like if it's easy, everyone does it, but you just got to have the mindset. Like,
I just
have
don't
a different
even,
mindset.
and I don't even believe in failure. I think that everything happens for a reason, and it's because you needed to learn a lesson.
Absolutely. And that's probably like, I did fail at some things. I have failed at some business things, but I've also learned a lot of lessons.
Yeah.
Like, I don't have a college degree, so I didn't learn business 101 and accounting 101.
Well, pause there, because I'm going to say this. I went to college for a couple of years. I cherry picked my courses because I knew what I wanted to do, sort of. So I did business, I did photography, I did psychology, I did early childhood education. public speaking, like such a random mix. And I took business classes. I still learned everything once I started a business. And even when I was a photographer, my photography teacher's like trying to teach me how to use aperture and the shutter speed. It was like, dude, I do not get this. It wasn't until I actually started my business and started working and taking pictures and trial and error that I figured it out. So I feel like, yeah, go to college for business, but you're really going to learn when you're actually in it.
Right. So that's that kind of that fake it till you make it.
Is it fake it till you make it though? Or is it learn as you go? Learn as you earn.
I think they're the same.
Learn as you earn. Just
as you earn. I like that.
Yeah.
I haven't heard that.
Yeah.
That's a good one. I like that. But yeah, no, I figured out a lot of things along the way. And I'm still learning every day, but I'm open-minded to that.
Well, can you tell us about something that was a struggle? Like a mountain you had to climb in your business?
Yeah, like probably the main thing was getting my master electrical license. So for me, like we talked before, like school was tough. I have ADHD, so for me to sit down, and I'm not a on paper smart person.
Right.
I got street smarts.
Same.
So I'm self-taught like on a lot of things. So for me to sit down and have to take a very hard test.
Yeah.
And the master's electrical test isn't how do you make this plug work with this switch. It is math. It is so much in-depth stuff, calculations, math, architectural stuff, code-related stuff. It's a lot. Even though I could do anything and everything electrically that I could do to run a business, that was the easy part. But to prove that on paper was a very, very haunting task for me.
I can imagine.
Because I knew it was going to take me complete focus, which is impossible. It was going to take me to sit down and study, which was also impossible. And it's a timed test. So you only have a certain amount of time to finish this test, to take the test. And I had heard a lot of stories of people failing 4, 5, 6 times. The guys that I worked with that were smart guys, people that were getting 3/4 of the way done before they ran out of time, things like that. So I had heard like all these horror stories of people that couldn't pass the master's test. And after I took it, I understood why. There were some problems where the calculations, you could spend 30 minutes just doing calculations on one question.
I would lose my mind.
Yeah, I did. I like it. That was probably my first big main.
And did you pass, or did you have to take it multiple times?
No, I passed my first time.
Wow. See, so nothing is impossible.
So yeah, some of it was probably luck, and that's fine. I'll take that.
I don't believe in luck.
I do. I think I do. I had one goal the first time I sat down to take my master's test. I had one goal, and that was I wanted to finish in the time allotted. I was okay with failing twice.
Right.
Like in my mind, I was like, okay, you'll go in here, you know what to expect, you'll see what's on the test, and know what you need to work on, and yada yada yada. The feeling that I had when I submitted like that last, they're like, hey, are you sure you want to submit everything? And you're like, yeah. Like you just hit the button, send it, let's go. And it showed up pass.
Instantly it showed you?
It shows instantly.
Wow.
It shows instantly. And it also shows you instantly when you fail. Because I failed a couple other ones after that. But literally, it's like roulette. Like that's when I go gambling, like that's my favorite game, roulette. It's instant gratification. Like spin it.
Right.
You either win or you don't. So like for me, that pushing that button, like, are you sure you wanted to put it? Yeah, let's go. Bam. And I passed it my first try, which nobody thought I was going to pass. I didn't even think I was going to pass. So I passed it, my first try. It was awesome.
Well, I'm going to tell you this real quick because I don't believe in luck. I believe it's when hard work meets opportunity. And I think you probably put in more hard work than you're giving yourself credit for. And you probably knew more than you're giving yourself credit for.
I'll be honest with you, like I think some of it was definitely luck because
Okay,
I would go.
Take
I would be like,
take it. I'm trying to give you a compliment.
I would tell.
Here,
I
dude.
know, but I would be like, I would tell Angela like, okay, listen, like I need to study, so I'm gonna go in this office here. I'm gonna shut the door, and I'm going to study this code book. And 15 minutes in, I could be 32 pages deep in Craigslist looking at cars, motorcycles, four-wheelers, like things that I can't afford, Lamborghinis. Like it's just I got sidetracked immediately when I had to sit down and try to study for a test. So my study up to the test probably wasn't near as good and thorough as it is, but
I get this though, because do you know it took me an obnoxiously long time to get my life coaching certification. And that's not, I didn't really even take any tests. I just had to get through the modules and do like all the little work from each one. And it took me years to complete however many hours it is.
Wow. Yeah, no, it's...
Because I am a learn on the fly, like sitting here talking to you, I'm going to figure out what... It's just it's just probably a natural thing. It's just an innate thing that you have in you to be able to figure out how to fix something.
Everything is a problem. Like there's problems everywhere. How do you handle them?
Let's
I don't know.
solve
I just
the
figure
problem.
it out. Like,
yeah.
I think my wife wants to wring my neck sometimes because that's kind of my mentality. Like she's like, hey, she'll give me a problem. She'll call me with a problem, and I'm like, all right, cool. Like I'll figure something out. She's like, no, like I need to tell this person. I need to give them an answer. Like you need to tell me when you're going there. And I'm like, I can't. Like you gave me the problem. It's in my head now. Like I got to take some time to mull over it. Like it's got to bounce around in my head for a minute before. You can't put me on the spot like that because I'm like, I can't do it. So she'll like, she gets mad at me sometimes. She'll call me with a problem and she's like, when can you go out there? And I'm like, I don't know. Like
when I get a source of inspiration.
Like I gotta think. Like I don't know. I gotta like stop what I'm doing, pull the truck over. Like be at peace with myself. I gotta really think about it.
Well, I think that's fair. You can't always figure things out right when it's handed to you. Sometimes you gotta sit with it for a second.
Yeah, life's full of problems. Though you just
right.
I don't know. I'll figure it out.
Yeah, I mean, I'm the same way. So I'm a total problem solver. In fact, somebody asked me one time.
I'm not saying I'm a good problem solver, but
don't say that about yourself.
I mean,
I
definitely probably create more problems.
You probably do.
Yeah, it happens.
I always like to say, it's very cheesy, but I'm going to say it anyway. Somebody asked me, what does a life coach do? I was like, I'm Vanilla Ice. You got a problem, I'll solve it.
Yeah, I thought you just would call people and say, hey, don't forget you have a meeting at 2. And you need to be on this conference call and you forgot to email your doctor back. Like, that's what I thought life coaching was. It's the internet's fault.
Well, what did you Google it?
No, but that's just, I don't know. I feel like
that wouldn't have been the answer. You would have known had you Googled it.
A life coach, that's what I envisioned.
Okay.
I didn't Google it. I really didn't think you were like tagging along with your clients, like coaching them through the day. Like, come on, buddy, let's go to work. You can do it. Like, I didn't think it was that type of coaching, but I just thought it was like, I really thought life coaching it was like more of a personal assistant.
Well, I
was like, cool. I still might need that.
I'm only like, come on, buddy. When it's, don't forget you have an appointment. I do that when I got you coming in. Yeah. Like, hey, well, you're not the only one.
Maddie does that too with my hair when I get my hair cut.
You need to be reminded.
Yeah. I'll get a text like the day before, like, hey, don't forget. You have a hair appointment tomorrow. And then like literally maybe like an hour or two before, I'll get another text. It's like, hey, don't forget, you're supposed to be here at 1:30.
What's really terrible, because I do this for you too, but what's really terrible is I don't remember. So it's really a lot of work for me to have to be like, oh God, because I have another client, I have to remind. He comes every week. Still got to remind him. Like, hi, it's Wednesday.
Yeah, remember what we do on Wednesdays. Like, you're here on Wednesday. Yeah, no, it's a struggle.
So I asked you about your hurdle. Was there a silver lining in that? Because that's what I really want to know. Because, a lot of times people go through these hardships.
There was silver lining in it, definitely.
Well, you
passed. I don't want to sound cliche, or cliche, or however you say it. You'll hear people say all the time, you can do anything you put your mind to. And it sounds great. It sounds fantastic. I've said it. Mm-hmm. Like, I've had people say to me, you can do anything you want, put your mind to. And for me, that was like the first aha moment, like, holy shit, like,
You can.
maybe I can do more maybe I am better than I thought I was, or maybe I do deserve some credit for this.
Right.
Like, that was a big, big relief for me. It was something that had been weighing on me for a couple of years.
Yeah.
I knew there was going to be a point where I eventually had to take it. And I was like, dude, I am not a test person. Like,
Right.
I was dreading it. And to get past that hurdle was like a first time I was like, I can do that. I can do a lot more.
Yeah. Well, I hear that same cliche saying, and then I've heard life coaches say that you can't say that to people because you're not going to be some famous singer just because you put your mind to it. But maybe with enough practice and coaching, I don't know. Are you going to be an NBA superstar one day?
I mean,
that's where they have that point of like, you
definitely
can't.
the best shooter in my family.
Yeah.
I just want to put that out there.
Okay.
I'm undefeated.
Noted.
In horse in the pool. I can actually shoot really good.
I cannot. And I
I'm a
have
shooter.
boys, and that's what they want to do.
I'm going to have a 3-point contest with Tristan when we leave here, out here on the basketball hoop. I'm definitely going to beat him. I should have made him play me for those headphones.
Yeah, you should
awesome.
have. God, why'd you
He's
just
so
hand
big.
him to him like that? He didn't even have to do work for that.
He's so big now. He probably just bury me. He'd probably school me. Can Richie beat him? Does he beat Richie?
I don't get involved because they are two highly emotional beings.
Do they talk a lot of trash to each
Yeah,
other?
they do. They do. And I do too. And I don't know why. It just happens when I'm around them. I'm not a good mom. I'm like a whole different person when we play games. I talk so much trash.
Yeah, because you want to win.
Because I'm a comedian, that's why. Because
Me
I want to
too.
get a laugh.
Yeah, me too.
I'm probably going to lose, but I'm going to make you laugh in the process.
Live, laugh, love. And laughing is the most important.
I'm going to make you a shirt with that.
You should put that sign in your office. I'm looking
I am
around.
not.
I
It
feel
is
like it's
not
definitely somewhere in your
2002.
house. It's definitely in your house somewhere.
You know what? You're talking about this, and because nobody knows what we're talking about. Justin brought my kid some headphones that he had at his house. And Tristan didn't have to do anything. He just got them, hand them to him. And I wrote this down for whatever reason before you got here. And I probably have it backwards. But easy times create weak men. Hard times create strong men. And just knowing that you have worked your butt off and built this wonderfully awesome business. Do you worry? I don't think you have to worry about Blake because he's shown that he can work hard just in trying to go after his football goals. But did that ever cross your mind of like, man, these kids got it so easy? Are they gonna try as hard as I did?
No, it really never crossed my mind. Blake was the quarterback. So, as the quarterback, you're essentially the leader of the offense. You're the leader on the field. And I saw like great leadership qualities in Blake at a very young age.
Yeah.
Like his ability to speak up, problem solve, little things like that. And then of course, like, he had specialized quarterback training and leadership. Leadership went hand in hand with being,
right.
A high level quarterback. So like I see the same qualities on the job.
Yeah.
That he showed on the field. So for me, that I never really had any doubts. A quick funny story, like one time Blake wanted this 4-wheeler. Could have easily bought it for him and given it to him. I was working hard, doing well. He was probably 9 or 10, 11, something like that. And I bought the 4-wheeler, but I didn't tell him I bought the 4-wheeler. So I made a deal with him that he would work to save up the money. It was $2,000. If he saved $1,000, I would match his $1,000 and we'd go buy it. So that's what he did. He literally worked. Of course, the 4-wheeler was gone off Craigslist because I bought it. I kept it at a friend's house. He would do odd jobs for money. He would pick up weeds. He would pick up sticks. He would rake. He'd leaf blow. He'd clean the pool. Whatever. Chores.
Yeah.
Then he started, after he did everything he could at our house, like stacking wood and stuff like that, our friends who were, keen to this deal that we had, and they all knew that, we had already got it. And he would go to their house, pick up dog poop, help with yard work, whatever at a young age. Like I made him work for it.
Yeah.
And he worked relentlessly for it. And I remember, like, he was so close to having his $1,000 saved up. We're talking months later.
Right.
After this, we made this deal. He was probably like $100 short. And I called my friend Brad and Stephanie. I'm like, hey, listen. I'm like, call him up, tell me you need to come do something. Like, I'll give you the $100. Like, just make him work for it. Like, have something to do. And they wouldn't take the money, but they were like, yeah, send them on over here.
Yeah.
So I was like, hey, buddy, I'm taking over. Brad needs some help. And he swept the garage. He, washed off the sidewalk, whatever he did all day, and never complained about it or nothing, and ended up getting, saving his half. I played some mind games with him for like 4 or 5 days. It was fun. So like I posted it back on Craigslist.
Oh my God.
And made a fake email, and like I was back and forth with him, and then he would call me, and then I would take it off Craigslist and mark it as sold, and then he'd be all bummed out, and it would go back on, and I'd change the price. Like
Justin?
I messed with him for a couple of days.
I wouldn't have been able to keep a straight face.
It was hard. And then we went over to our friend's house where it was at, and my friend came riding down the street. Brad came riding down the street with it, and he's like, hey man, look what I just picked up. This yard sale up here. And Blake's like freaking out. Like it was a very distinctive 4-wheeler. And then we keyed him in. So like his ability to work for something is unreal.
That's awesome.
Yeah, he's got it. It's like he has it. Like he will definitely, more than likely, for sure. I don't want to say that now. Now I'm second guessing myself, but
oh God, don't do that.
He will take over and run. He will take over one day for sure. Unless he wants to do something different, which I'm totally fine with. Like he doesn't have to. If he wants to go on his own path and do something completely different, like cool. I'm not forcing him to do this and take over and learn the industry and learn the trade, and but I definitely see it happening.
I feel like that story was so good because this is something that parents think about whether they're making their kids' life too easy. Richie and I talk about this all the time. Is it too easy for them?
Oh, they got it made. Don't get me wrong.
They really do. But as long as they get that work ethic down.
You ever seen our pantry?
No, I did not open your pantry door when I came to your house.
Every kid that comes to my house goes straight to the pantry because Angela loads it with good stuff.
Yeah.
Snacks. I didn't have that growing up. Kids are spoiled.
Yeah. I mean,
they definitely have it. They definitely have it good. But I mean, I feel like that's your goal as a parent. Like you want to provide as much as you can to your children. So
right, without them thinking they don't have to work.
It's very hard. It's very hard not to.
Well, I send my oldest to my mom's to shovel horse poop. That's where he gets his.
That's pretty gnarly.
Hard work. And when he wants something, that's when he does it. Can I go do some work?
Yeah.
Well, yeah. Well, why don't you do some stuff around here?
Right.
He will not do it for us, but he'll do it for my mom. Yeah. He'll do it for Richie's mom. He'll do it for his grandma's.
As long as he's doing it, though.
Yeah. Whatever. You're right. As long as he's doing it.
Yeah.
And Liam, my middle son's the same way. So I did the same thing this summer. He babysat Scarlett, my 6-year-old, because he's so good with her. He's very just... I don't know. He has such a way with kids. And I thought, he's going to do a good job doing this. So I'm going to give him this job and I'm going to pay him. And then I told him at the end of the summer, if you don't spend a dime of what I pay you, I will match it and we will put it in a savings account. But you can't touch it. That's the deal. Or you can have it. You can have all of it, but I'm not going to match it. And he chose to let me match it and put it in a savings account and not touch it.
That's smart. Not that smart.
Yes, you are.
No, I'm terrible at financial decisions. He's
maybe.
He's good. That's good.
He is good at. Yeah. So Tristan, I also hired him to do social media work, and not his thing. He's great at it. He's very smart. He has a lot of good ideas. He was great at taking initiative. Like he started a Twitter for me. I'm like, I haven't even opened it yet, but I don't know what he's tweeting.
You're not tweeting?
He does it, but he doesn't do it all the time for me either. But he's like, Mom, you owe me $10. And there you go. He's already spent the $10 that he just made an hour ago.
Yeah, that's me. Me and Tristan would get along great.
Yeah, probably. Okay, so we've been talking for 50 minutes.
Is it really?
Yeah. I haven't decided how long to make these things yet. I feel like an hour is solid. We're not trying to be all Joe Rogan over here with 3 hours.
Is that what he does? I've never listened to his podcast.
What?
I heard it's awesome. I know.
It's so good. Let me tell you what I like about Joe Rogan. He has people on, and I have no idea what they're talking about. He had Mark Zuckerberg on, right? And I'm like, let me listen to this. They're talking about tech for the first hour. I don't know a damn thing about what they are talking about, but I do now.
Yeah.
I know all about it now.
Well, you just sold a gaming computer, so you're basically like a pro now.
Exactly. So that's what I'm on my way to get this PS5. I'm going to learn some tech stuff.
You can do anything you put your mind to.
Exactly. So listen to Mark Zuckerberg for an hour.
Go.
And now I'm going to start a software company.
Fake it till you make it.
Yeah, exactly.
There it comes again. I feel like I should have a camera crew follow me sometimes. Some of the stuff that I do on a day-to-day basis, I'm like, this will make great content.
I think that for myself sometimes. Richie and I actually had somebody say that to us in like 2008. You guys would make a really good reality show.
Yeah.
But he don't even want to be on Instagram. He deleted all his social media. He don't get on anything. But I can talk him into doing, a funny video every now and then.
A TikTok?
Mm-hmm. Well, no, I don't. Like a reel. Same thing.
It is pretty much, isn't it?
Complete different companies. That's why it's not the same thing. I know this now because I listened to Mark Zuckerberg for an hour.
Doesn't Mark Zuckerberg own Instagram?
He owns Instagram, yes, but TikTok is his competition.
That's why he created Reels.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I want to know what you might say to somebody who judge you at your chapter 10, but they have no idea where you started. Do you think people even judge you?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Because you look at you now and oh wow, Justin, he's got it made. He's got this awesome business. But what, you have no idea what somebody goes through to get to that point.
People definitely judge me. Like, I mean, first of all, let me just say, I don't care.
Yeah.
Honestly, I don't care what you think of me. There's some people that probably hate me.
Hate you? That's strong.
I mean, yeah, I would say there's definitely some people that hate me.
All right, you got some haters. If you ain't got haters, you ain't doing something right.
I think people judge. I don't know. It's kind of weird. Like, I'm the same person pretty much at all times.
Yeah.
Like, it's very rare if I'm in a different setting and I'm not the same person that I am any other time.
Right.
So I think people judge me more on like, oh, he's got it made. It's He doesn't do anything. Everything's great.
He doesn't have to show up to the job.
Yeah, he doesn't have like any problems or anything like that. But which is completely false.
Right.
I don't know. I mean, yeah, I'm sure everyone judges. I feel like.
So what if you're talking to, like, let's say it like this. You're talking to somebody and they're just starting and they feel like it's too high of a mountain to climb to get to where you are. What do you say to that person?
It's going to sound super cliche, but just go for it, man. Don't give up. You're going to run into walls and roadblocks along the way.
Yeah.
From, like, if we're saying chapter 10 is now, like, let me tell you what, buddy, chapter 7 and 8, whew, they're going to test you. 2019, I was tested pretty good. And it's tough. I mean, it's definitely not for everyone. Owning a business, running a business, and you just got to believe in yourself, really. Like, I wake up every day and I know I'm confident in myself.
That you're going to figure it out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, even if I wasn't an electrician or owned a solar company or anything, like, whatever else I did, I would figure it out. You know what I mean? Like, fake it till you make it, I guess. Here it comes again.
Well, let me just take that soundbite and use it 100 times to advertise this episode.
We've said it a lot.
You said it.
Early on, like when I first started my electrical company, like I was in the right place at the right time. So I got tapped into a very small clientele base. I was doing work for people that are very high up and powerful. I mean, we were working in $20-30 million homes.
That's awesome.
That I probably had no business working in, but
lies.
I
believe you did.
I mean, I was in the right place at the right time, so like I had to adapt to those situations.
But somebody starting out that thinks, well, he made it because he was in the right place at the right time. That's not going to be the story for me. But you would have never known that. That's hindsight. Right. You still have to start. I could say that about podcasting. I'm starting this way after that rush of podcasting. Like before, we're after the rush of that. I should have started 5 years ago when I had the idea. Could you imagine?
Did you really have a show, Life with Mandy, in 2002? I saw it on your Instagram post.
I really sat down and recorded myself talking to a camera.
That's awesome.
On a regular basis. In fact, what's really sad about it is I recorded over some home movie footage.
I was wondering when I saw the clip pop, I'm like, where did she get that? Like, and I started thinking, I'm like, did they have iPhones then? And I'm like, no, they didn't.
No, that was like the old, like
2006 or 2007 was an iPhone.
No, my dad bought like the big camcorder. We didn't have a computer yet, and so he is like, you know what? We're gonna become a computer family, and then we're also gonna get a new camcorder. So he went and bought both things, and we were like, wow.
We made it.
Yeah, that's what it was. So I've always been business-minded. I've always sat and talked like I am talking on a talk show. I mean, long before 2002. I spent many years talking to myself. Oh my God, I have to show you this. I'm going to show you this because I would talk to objects. Now I'm really going to sound cuckoo. I was going through pictures at my grandma's house the other day and I saw this and I was like, yep, that's what I did. My grandpa had this statue and his name was Pythias. And they took a picture of me. I used to sit and talk to Pythias.
You got your arm around him and everything.
I mean, I hugged the dude.
It literally looks like y'all were buddies.
Yeah. Now you're like, this girl is crazy.
Now I'm not just confirming. Yeah, you're definitely cuckoo.
No, but really, I did. I just used to have conversations all the time, and I would act like I was interviewing, and I never saw myself doing that, though. It just was, I didn't think it was a thing to do.
No, I think it's awesome. You kind of followed your heart, like what you were passionate about.
Yeah. Oh, I will tell you this, too. I had my palm read when I was in middle school, and she told me I was going to have a show in my house. And then
that's like me and Mr. Thielen.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Mr. Thielen told me I was going to do something with wires.
Yeah. Well, I did. So I had the
cooking
show in the kitchen for YouTube for a short period of time. For anybody listening that has no idea what I'm talking about. I mean, it was short-lived, but it happened. Yeah. It counts.
Yeah.
She told me some other things. I had a whole paper, and I don't know where it is now.
The Amanda Hoyle Show.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, so should we wrap this up?
I don't know. What else is on your notepad?
You kind of talked about it.
You know what we should do? We should do like a podcast where we just like drink.
I don't drink.
But I'll drink for you.
Okay, great. You should do that. You should do that. You should start a podcast and do that. I don't drink. It blocks your intuition.
I actually do want to start a podcast.
You should.
For real.
Do it.
I'm actually secretly scoping out this boom mic right here.
Oh my God.
So I'm going to go home and look at the link.
You know what I want you to end on? What? I want you to tell us your favorite thing about yourself.
My favorite thing about myself?
Yeah.
My favorite thing about myself? That's a tricky question.
Oh, well, I'm glad.
You mean like what I think my greatest quality is?
I mean, something that you really like about yourself. There's no rules to this question and answer.
Man, you gotta... Yeah.
This whole podcast is about discovering yourself.
Yeah.
And your healing journey. I guess this isn't really... We didn't really talk about your healing journey.
I gotta let that one bounce around my head for a minute.
All right, fine.
What was the question again? Say it again.
What's your favorite thing about yourself?
My favorite thing about myself. My favorite thing about myself is probably my ability to see good in a bad situation.
Yeah.
Or to I always try to do things. I have a big heart. I always try to do things good. So I see the good in people. I see the good in a bad situation, and I try to. I mean, everyone's going to go through something. So it's okay. Like, oh shit, I just wrecked my car. Like, all right, well, cool. Guess what? Hey, you're fine. You're good. And you're going to get something else. You're going to get a different car.
Yeah.
Like, that's me. That's how I would think.
I'm the same way.
Like, I guess that's more of a trait, but that's probably my favorite thing about myself.
I think that's a great answer.
My ability to think outside the box, too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think outside the box.
I love it. That's a great answer. Do you know what? I am going to ask you one more question.
Go.
What can you give some advice or encouragement, particularly to a man who is not doing anything for self-care or has not started any type of healing journey? And I don't want to call your sessions with me like a healing journey, but we dive into stuff. We talk about stuff, and you are seeing the value in that. And that's something I'm kind of passionate about, is men getting help. Not help. I don't like using the word help. Seeking care and taking care of yourself, taking care of your mind and your soul and your whole essence.
I had told you this, like, my Reiki session for me is awesome, and I think it's super helpful. I think there is some huge benefits for someone in a high stress environment, someone running a business, to have some energy work done. It's been super helpful for me.
Yeah.
So for me, like, that hour session that I'm there, like, I am in complete, like, a zen.
Yeah.
Like, and that is super peaceful. Like, I turn my phone off. Like,
right.
I am off the grid. Like,
yeah.
And it's really nice to just kind of disconnect.
So people think healing, you got to talk about traumas or emotional stuff, but that's healing on a cellular level. We're healing your cells when you're doing that.
Yeah, I think it's like, I don't look at it, I look at it as more as like maintenance.
Yeah. So what's the advice then for a guy who's like, I'm not doing that. That's woo woo, or you're crazy.
My advice would be basically just be open-minded. Like, don't knock it till you try it.
Yeah.
Like I know other people, friends of mine, that go to you and do it, and I haven't talked to them about it, but they keep coming back. Maybe you're hypnotizing us. Are you hypnotizing?
Yeah, that's what I'm doing. It's all witch work. I'm a witch doctor.
Maybe.
I'm kidding. My mom does call me Glenda the Good Witch, which I love that. I'll take it.
She calls you Glenda the Good Witch?
Yes. But it's not witch. It's not anything like that.
It's for me. It's just
about
it's
relaxing your body so much that that's when your body can actually heal. And if you have an injury or an emotional trauma or whatever it is, you're allowing your body the time and space to heal from that.
For me, like I said in the beginning, like, I get stuff that bounces through my head all day, nonstop. Yeah. For me, it really, it's like all that bouncing stops.
Yes.
And everything is just kind of, it is what it is at that point. Yeah. And for me, that's like the most beneficial thing, is just being able to
shut it down.
Yeah, shut it down. Yeah.
Even my 11-year-old told me that. He said, I've never had such a clear head before.
Yeah. Oh, 100%.
Like, all my thoughts disappeared. And that sometimes it's hard to get to that space, but that is the goal. I want you to chill. Because then you're going to go back into your business and back into your family life, and you're going to be the best version of yourself because you are taking care of yourself. And men need that.
It absolutely helps. 100%.
Men need that, and I'm that's a huge message I'm trying to get across. Because most men, I did Google this. The suicide rate for men is much higher than it is for women. It's because of the stress.
Yeah, I believe that.
Yeah.
I mean, as men, like, our jobs is, society has pushed us to be the main provider. Like, we got all the stress on us. Not that.
Yeah, it's not fair. Like, women have stress too. Women deal with depression and all these things. And I don't want to take away from that at all, because I've been there. I've experienced it. I just don't think there's enough conversations about the fact that men like we talk about postpartum depression and things like that for women, but we don't talk about what happens to a man.
Yeah.
After mentally.
No, it's definitely, it wasn't like a head case or anything like that, but it was, for me, it was just a great opportunity to get some maintenance.
Yeah, I'm with it. I think that's good. You don't have to have something extreme happen to want to get better at things. And
yeah. I mean, you pay you pay to have your car cleaned, right? I mean, honestly, you pay, because, okay, my car's dirty, I'm going to clean it, and then it feels like a brand new ride. I think Ricky's the same thing.
Yeah. Awesome.
It's like cleansing.
It is. That's exactly what it is.
Maybe that's what you should start advertising is.
What?
Come car wash your head.
Oh my God.
That's a great slogan.
I would rather say, wouldn't you think oil change? Okay, because you have to have an oil change or your car's going to blow up.
That's great.
Yeah.
Yes.
Or recharge your battery.
Yeah, there you go.
Like your cell phone, you got to plug your phone in every night and let it recharge. There's so many. What, should we keep going?
Yeah, go. Give me another one.
I don't have any more. I was hoping you would have one.
Nah, I think the oil change is good.
Okay, we'll
We're
stop
leave it
there.
at that.
Okay, let's stop there.
So come get your oil change with Mandy.
Oh my God.
It's worth it.
I may edit that out. Thank you so much for talking to me.
No, it's fun. Thanks for having me.
Hey, do you want to plug your business?
Yeah, sure. If you don't like paying electric bills, call me.
Ooh,
Mandy,
that was good.
Tell them about your electric bill.
$14.92.
That is when Columbus sailed the ocean blue. Also,
Oh my.
Is it a coincidence? I don't know, but I just thought of it. No, I do solar and electric. It's awesome. I love it. I love what I do. I help you save money.
Yeah.
Everyone thinks solar's some big smoke and mirrors, snake oil.
Nope.
I hear it all. It's simple math. Do you want to save money or do you not? Numbers don't lie.
Right. Well, and it's buying or renting.
Exactly.
That was it for me. I don't want to rent electric. I want to own my stuff. Yeah.
We're getting ready to do your neighbor's house too. That's awesome.
I know. So should we tell them what area? Do you have an area that you work in?
Virginia.
Okay.
I'll go anywhere in Virginia.
Okay.
Some into West Virginia.
Okay.
We can do that. But get off the cost of rising power.
There you go. There you go.
Don't just rent your power, own your power. That was a good one.
Yeah. Keep going.
Solar is the future, Skyline is now. That's our legit slogan.
All right. All right.
I could probably think of a couple more. I gotta let them bounce around for a minute.
I think we need to end this. All right. Well, thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
You're welcome.
Episode 2, I'll be on sometime in 2023. Y'all can tune in, check it out.
Episode 2? You mean season 2?
Yeah, that's what I meant. No, I meant episode 2 for me.
No, you're technically going to be episode 5.
All right. So you guys got to stick around.
Well, they're already listening to episode 5. That's what's happening. So what are you trying to say?
I would say you have to have me back on in a couple months.
Oh.
We'll do another fun one.
Yeah. Oh, was this not fun?
No, it was fun.
Oh, okay.
But it was serious fun. Hey, what's the craziest thing you ever did? I could go into
Dude,
those
I
stories.
should have asked you that. All right.
We'll say that for episode.
Yeah.
Next season. Season 2.
Yeah.
Tune in.
2023.
2023. We're going to mark it on the calendar.
We're already scheduled out for the rest of this year.
Conversations 2.0. You are scheduled out. That's really good.
Yeah. Well, all right. We're done here. Peace out. All right, friend, I just wanted to come and say thank you so much for listening. If you enjoyed this episode, be sure to share it with a friend. Subscribe on your favorite listening app and leave a review if you feel called to. Sending you so much love. Bye now.
Ladies and gentlemen.
You have the face for radio.
I got it. I'll take that. I picked up what you're laying down.